Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully create our navigation bar for our desktop view, and also we make it as a fixed, right? Which is totally fine. Here better I want to do and add some of the padding, then that will be better. So if you want to add it, that is in our container. So into the container area I want to add another class name. Okay, I use that class name, and class name I want to make it as a padding as a 2, and also I want to use it as a margin bottom as a 0. Okay, so then that will be actually fill up. Now click as a save all, and now if you go to here, now click as a refresh. Perfect. You can see now there have no margin bottom. Everything is looking great. So that is our navigation bar, and that is our mega menu, and that is our slider. Okay, everything is looking great. So here I want to design these positions. Like here I want to add some of the search box, and also I want to add some of the notification icon, the wish list icon, and also the locking. So step by step we have to add it. Like that is our first portion, and there is our another column, right? So into this column area I want to add one of the input field. So I want to use that input. So I simply use that input field and close that input field, and into the input field area our type, so here it should be one of the type, right? So I make this type will be as a text type. So that will be as a text type. Okay, I make it as a text type. And also here I want to use that class name, that is class name as a one of the Bootstrap default class as a form control, form and then control. Okay, form control. And also after that I want to take another button. Okay, that will be the button, double button. Okay, button, I want to use some of the button, and also I close this button. So this button will be comes from our React Bootstrap. You can see it's now comes from to the Bootstrap, not that Bootstrap. So it should be comes from our this React Bootstrap. So I want to use it in here. I want to use this one. So now here we don't need this. I simply loaded this button. So that is a button. This button here I want to use it one of the type. Okay, type, and our type will be one of the button. So I use it as a button. Okay, button type. Perfect. And I also want to use one of the class name, and I want to use one of the Bootstrap class name as a btn. Okay, btn, and then site btn. Okay, I use that as a site btn. So that will be one of the input button, and here also I want to use one of the icon for the search. So if you want to use it, there is one of the icon as a fafa icon. I want to use that as a fafa icon. In the icon area I want to use that class name. There is another fafa icon class name as a fa, and then fafa search. Okay, fafa search. So I want to use this fafa search. So that is our icon is ended. Okay, icon is ended, and then button is ended. Perfect. So now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now go there. Now click as a refresh. You can see that is actually visible in here like that way. Also you have to add some of the padding, in particular that position. So that means that is our column. Into this column position I want to use another class name. Here I want to use it as a padding. I make it as a 1, and also margin top I want to make it as a 1. Okay, so first of all I have to check it. If you click as a save all, now refresh it. Here also you have to use that as some of the white, then that will be better. So that is our bottom, right? In our this input, before this input, better I take one of the div. Okay, I take one of the div, and then I want to close this div. So there is input started and input ended, and after that there is a button. After that button, that will be as ended div, right? So into this div area I want to use another class name, and this class name I want to use that class name as a input. Okay, input, and the group. Okay, input group, and I want to use that wide. Okay, wide will be as 100. So I make it as 100. So now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh. So now you can see it's now into the same position, but here they have some of the issues. Over here we have to make it into the center positions, right? So I want to actually add some of the CSS for our this container. If you go to that our container, so to the container, before I use that as a padding 2 and then margin bottom as a 0. So here I want to use make it as a fixed. Okay, fixed, and then top. So I make it as a fixed top, and also I want to use some of the shadow. Okay, shadow, and shadow I make it as a SM. So now let's check this out. Click as a save all. And now if you go click as a refresh, perfect, right? So that is into the same center position. And also our this container is not getting our background. I want to use some of the background. If you want to use that background, so here after this I want to use that as a BG as a white. Okay, I make it as a BG white. Now click as a save all, and now if you go click as a refresh, perfect, right? So that is now into the perfect place, and there is our search icon. Everything is looking great. Okay, everything is looking great. After this I also want to add another icon, like that is our div part. Here I use that as a font wide as 100, input, that is input, and here you can see there is actually our button. So button, here I use that one of the icon as a for search, which is totally fine. So now there is our another part is another column. Here also I want to use the same class. Better I copy it, and then I want to use some of the same class. That means here I want to use one of the padding as a 1 and margin top as a 1. Okay, and after this I want to use one of the, you can use that link also. I want to use that link. I have already loaded that link, so now that should be work perfectly. You can close it like that way, rather than if you want to close it here as a link. I want to close it. Okay, so that is our link. So into this link area I want to add another another 2. So 2 will be actually I didn't create any route right now, so later we will actually create some of the route, and then we will actually add that route in here. Okay, so now I want to make it as a clean, and now there is a class name. I use on the class name I want to use that as a BTN. Okay, there is a BTN, and with this BTN area I want to use one of the icon. That will be on the icon. I want to use that icon and icon class name I want to use it as a fa one of the icon. Okay, as a fa, that will be one of the bell icons. For the bell icon, that is another one as a fa h4. Okay, I make it as a h4 and then fa bell bell. So now that should be display one of the icon in particular that position, and into this after that icon. Okay, after that icon I want to use one of the superb characters, that is a soup. Okay, soup I want to use it, and here I want to use one of the span. Okay, span, and to this span area I want to use some of the span class name. So as I told you, friend, design actually depends on you, what type of design you actually want to work, you want to develop. Right now I'm actually using some of the basic React Bootstrap code. So here I want to use on the class name, that will be as a BARG. Okay, BARG, and then text I want to make it as a text will be as a white. Okay, and busy danger. Okay, danger. So I make it as a busy danger. Here it will be display as a point out as a 4 or 5, whatever you actually choose. So now I make it as a 5. Notification bell will be display like that. Okay, you just simply use that as a 5. So now let's check this out. Click as a save all. Now click as a refresh. You can see there is a bell icon, and this is also showing as a BARG one of the background. I have used that as a BARG danger. For the reasons it's now become red, and there is a 5 notification is visible, right? And now also I want to use another notification as a mobile alert. So that is our total link, right? So that is our total link. And after that I want to take another anchor tag. So simply loaded that anchor tag, and into this anchor tag area I want to use one of the class name I want to use as a BTN. Okay, so that will be the BTN, and here I want to use another icon. So that will be another icon. Into this icon I want to use another class name, so that will be another class name, and here I want to use it as a fa h4. Okay, fa h4 fa mobile, mobile. Okay, fa h4 fa mobile, and the alter. So I want to use this icon. So first of all I want to check it. I don't remember that is appropriate or not. Let's check this out. Click as a refresh. You can see there is a mobile icon. Perfect. So our mobile icon is visible, and after that I want to load another logging button. So after that I want to I want to use it another link. Okay, so I use that link, and here I will load that link, and right now I make it as a 2 only, as a slash. Later we'll actually create some of the route and we'll use that route in here. Okay, and better I want to use some of the class name and class name. So now I want to use some of the class name as a h4 as a btn. Okay, h4 btn, that will be displayed as a logging. So this type of one of the logging button will be display, which is totally fine. And also first of all I want to check it, click the save all, and now refresh. Yeah, you can see now that is showing as a logging. So you can also use that as a logging register. And after that I want to add another add to cart item in here, whatever the product you will choose from here. So now that should be actually loaded in particular that positions, right? So that is our card menu. I want to use another one. So after that link, I want to take another button. Okay, I want to use another button, BUTTON button. I want to load this button, and into this button area I want to use another class name that I have already created. If you go to our button CSS, sorry, not the button CSS, if you go to our menu desktop, you can see I have already created one of the one of the class as a card button. So now I want to use this one as a card button. So right now we don't need this. If you go to here, so that is our class name. I want to use it as a card btn. Okay, so to this card btn I want to use one of the Fafa icon. I want to use that class name will be, I name it as a Fafa shopping cart. Okay, Fafa shopping cart. And here I want to pass some of the value as a 5 product, okay, or 3 product. So that will be displayed as a 3 product. And after that, there is our button close. So that is our button close. Okay, so now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go there, click as a refresh, you can see it's now showing as a this icon, and then that is our 3, right? So that's now displayed as a 3. So better I want to do here, there is after the 3, I want to use it as a 3 items. Okay, items. So that will be as a 3 items. And now let's check this out. Click as a save all, and now refresh it. This is much better, right? And better I want to use some of this space. After that I want to use some of this space. Click as a save all. So friend, everything will be dynamic. So right now I'm actually creating the design. I hope you understand that part. Yeah, you can see there is our card and there is a 3 item. Okay, which is totally fine. It's now very lucrative. Perfect. So friend, that's all for now for our desktop navigation. So later we'll actually customize it. If we need any another functionality, we'll add this functionality in here. Okay, so right now there is our notification is visible, mobile icon is visible, logging button is visible, and after that there is our card visible, and then our logo is visible, right? And that is also fixed. And also they have some of the shadow. So for the add card, as I told you, I have already created that CSS. So I use that CSS as a card button. So that is in our nib menu desktop. So I have created that nib logo. There is a card button, the nib bar, top section. I have already used all that class, right? Very easy. You can see I added some of the padding as a 5 pixel, 15 pixel, 5 pixel, and 15 pixel. That will be into the center position. I use that color as a white color. So now that is actually our white, this color. Better I want to make it as a pure white. So pure white means that is our 6F, right? I make it as a pure white, and there's a radius if you want to use that radius. So they have also one of the radius. You can see it's not totally curved. So I use that one of the curve as a 20 pixel, and I make it as important. That will be always working, because also you have to work for our mobile view, and I use some of the background color as a this. There is actually our background color. You can see that is our background color. Okay, which is totally fine on the deep blue color. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now pure white. Perfect. So friend, we successfully design our one part. That means here we successfully design our desktop navigation, and now also we have to create that mobile navigation. If you now minimize it, you can see it's not total destroyed. So now that should be not display like that way. When it will be as a mobile view, then that will be actually loaded another navigation. So for this I have already created another component. If you go to that our component, the common folder, that is a common folder, here I have already created another one as a nav menu for mobile, right? So in our next video I will work for our this nav menu for mobile. How can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.